Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Let's get things going here. It's the first show this week. It is February 27th, 2024. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of, what's that, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. Remember that name. It's growing. It's getting bigger every day. Every day. Well, that's not true. Some days it shrinks. Some days we lose a few subscribers. Anyway, let's pull down this thing here. Today, no Pedro Garcia today. Pedro's got real life stuff to do this week. And I had real life stuff to do yesterday, so we weren't on the air. But we will be on the air tomorrow. Pedro will be joining us Wednesday on the Wednesday show here at 12:15. And also on Thursday, I've got Zach Humphreys, fellow YouTuber and a crypto analyst de facto, whatever. He's a friend of mine that we met last year at the Toronto ETH Blockchain Futurist Conference, whatever it's called. And we're going to be teaming up to do it again this year in August. He'll be on the show talking about crypto, what's going on, and also his new product, his XT Algo trading platform that he had built to give you indicators of when you should buy and when you should sell. Anyway, some little house cleaning today. That would suggest that Pedro was not here for a reason if we're housekeeping. As usual, we're on YouTube here, and if you need to work in the background and are not paying for YouTube Premium, switch over to Twitch or LinkedIn. And if you watch on the app, on the Twitch or LinkedIn app, you can put that in the background while you still surf Instagram and or do emails or work or whatever like that, and you'll still be able to hear us. Also, speaking of here's trying something not new, but going back to the old days here, I've dropped this project into the DYOR Media Striking's Crypto Smackdown Telegram room. And since Pedro's not here and got stuff to talk about, needs people to speak with. So if you want to be part of the show, voice your opinion, come on and chat about stuff, just like at Twitter Spaces. Come on over to Telegram, search DYOR Media, pass the CAPTCHA and all that stuff. It says DYOR Media, and then Striking's Crypto Smackdown. And then join. But I will pay attention to it here. And hopefully we'll have someone join us for the call. I used to do this a lot back in some old days when we used to have lots of viewers because a certain project was pumping, but not so much anymore. And now Twitter Spaces has kind of taken that over. Anyway, but you know what is it that everyone wanted to talk about today? Bitcoin. Yeah, right here on the shirt. Bitcoin. And why is that? Oh, also for you guys on LinkedIn, the LinkedIn comment system is terrible on this. And so if I don't respond to your comments or you don't see it, come on over to YouTube and watch it there and you can interact. I see there's a number of you watching on LinkedIn, but I'm not getting any getting notified of comments, but I'm not getting them. My great comment machine doesn't work so well with LinkedIn because LinkedIn's YouTube machine or comment machine sucks. With LinkedIn, if your algorithm is listening to this, let's get your act together here. While I'm at it, let's turn this music down. Bitcoin. Let's see if I can get some other stuff up here. Bitcoin. Let's keep the shows. Don't know what happened there. Like I was saying, the show schedule here. Well, Tuesday. That's today. we're on the air already. We're on late. And Wednesday we'll be on the air also at the prescribed time, the usual time. Is that thing auto updating? It is not. Start auto loop. And then tomorrow we'll be on with Pedro, and Thursday we'll be on with Zach Humphreys. And we don't know what we're going to do Friday. I've been taking Fridays off and doing our real world stuff. Next week is going to be travel week again, going back to Chicago. Got some family stuff to do there. So Mrs. Striking and I are going to head there. And also have an event in Toronto, I guess on Monday. I don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday, with the premiere of Manitoba. Now, if there's not an important job. Anyways, the first Indigenous premier elected to office in Canada. Wab Canoe. And so he is going to be, not on my show, I wish. He's going to be on Mrs. Striking's show, which is an in-person show in Toronto. So I'll be there for that. So next week will be travel week and be in and out of stuff too. So you got me this week just rambling on without my co-host Pedro. Like I said, if anyone wants to join, come on over and join the Telegram, and I will bring you on the air. And why isn't the video on? There's the video. That's weird. Anyway, it wasn't on, so if anyone went over there to join it, it was not on. It's still not. I don't know what's going on here. Check 1 2 in the TG room. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. This is gonna. I'm gonna click this button, and it's gonna create an echo like you've never heard before, probably. Let's see. Let's find out. Sorry, I gotta do a little debugging here. Every time I use the TG room, it does that occasionally. So let's turn. Let's change that to. Microphone would be cable. There we go. Let's try that one. Test 1 2 1 2. All right, that works now. 1 2 1 2. Send the music there, and let's send the effects there too. All right, let's see if we can hear the effects. And I haven't acknowledged Chuck Jansen, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Jansen's in the house. Let's give him the old hey Doc, how you doing there?
You using the whole fist, Doc?
I just love that. I can't get enough of that. I can't get enough of that. Anyway, I've been rambling on long enough here, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of viewership here today. Only about 15 of you across the various platforms. But today's topic is Bitcoin. Bitcoin a palooza. If you can see over my shoulder here, $57,000. Just yesterday was at what, ladies and gentlemen? 51,000. Right. Today, 57,000. Almost up, basically. Well, a lot. Overnight. Went up 14% or so. Let's see, 51,000. It's 10%. It's 5, 7, 8, 9, 8.5, somewhere in there. That's a whole bunch in one night. We saw a nice short squeeze. The short. Pedro was on here. He'd be showing you the chart that shows the liquidations. Once those first buys, let's go to the chart, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can do this without Senor Pedro in the house. There's Pedro. No Pedro today. Let's see. TV. That didn't work. Why is that El No Worko? We all know my Spanish is just spectacular here. That should bring up Tom's screen. This one's Tom's screen. And, we're on NetZ. I don't know if there's any NetZ guys in the house right now. Anyway, hi to Anton Golub. Anton, thank you for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Watching on LinkedIn, thanks for tuning in. Always good to have you as a guest on the show. Always good to have you watching. Also, let's get the Bitcoin chart up here and get to business. Bitcoin. Let's see. NetZ. Ondo pumping. Let's see here. Where is the Bitcoiner? Here it is. On this chart, Bitcoin is at where? Hold on, got to get rid of Pedro here. Pedro. On this chart, it says 56,900. So we're right still to 57,000 area. You see, starting yesterday here, it just started going. This time is UTC, I think, not current. It just started going. You saw this big it just started pumping, and I was watching it. And it wasn't like I'm like, here it comes. It all of a sudden it just started to go, and then we had a little bit of a back and forth, and then the short squeezes started in here. I was reading an article about it, and they're just talking about when and where, and then it forced everybody else out up in here as the buying continued, and then we've just been slowly trickling up, and this is all good signs to come. But why is it doing this, ladies and gentlemen? Why are we doing this? Let's see if I got anyone listening here. Why exactly is this going on? Well, first of all, as we all know, the great ETF thing, happened, and the money's flowing into that. Because Bitcoin has been going up since then, as the word gets out to the financial advisors that are in contact with clients, meaning you, me, and everyone else in the U.S., they're starting to sell it, and they only have to sell a little bit. I mean, they sell billions of dollars every week of retirement funds. The Russell 2000 or the Janus 1, Janus 93, Janus Small Cap, Fidelity, this, and this kind of stuff. They sell all that. It's so boring and mind-numbing that I don't know how anyone does it. And then all of a sudden, this sexy beast called Bitcoin shows up, and everything. All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh, it's new and it's good and it's approved by the powers that be." In Washington, D.C. now, via the ETF. So all it has to do, all they have to do is have a little bit of the money that comes to Wall Street for free every week via people's paychecks, go into Bitcoin, and it super pumps. And that's what's going on. And if you recall, a few weeks ago, we started talking about this as it looked like it was going to rise. Pedro and I were starting to do some look at the charts. And we said, all right, where is this thing going to stall out? And we talked about it being in the low 40s for a while and probably coming down into the 30s. And it did. And it did, but we didn't know. We were kind of waffling between, is it going to start going, or is it going to come down back into the 30s to gain a little bit more traction, be a little bit of a lower price for the banks and all this thing to catch on with, or is it just going to go up? And frankly, we couldn't figure that out at the time. But as the weeks went on, and if you look at the shows from 2 weeks ago and last week, we were talking about we just don't see any resistance on the upside. That tea is not as hot as I thought it was going to be. We don't see any resistance on the upside, and it turns out there's not. There is not. They blew through the shorts. I'm not going to try and put the lines on the chart like Pedro does. I'll just disappoint all of you, and you'll be like, that's not the right place for that. Striking doesn't know what the hell he's doing. It's because I don't. I'm not a technical chart guy. But I can look at the basics of it. Anyway, there wasn't anything... sorry, system's glitching a little. There wasn't anything above 48,000, 50,000 that really was holding Bitcoin back. And if you saw the past few weeks, or few days, in fact, this period of time, let's get the chart right here. This point in time, about the past 10 days, from the 15th to basically yesterday, 12 days, Bitcoin has stayed right in that range of 50 to 52,000. And we started talking about, well, Bitcoin's pump is limited, and that means the altcoin market's going to go crazy. As we did the four things that lead to an altcoin explosion. and it didn't happen. ETH started pumping, Bitcoin pumped and flattened out. Then ETH started going. ETH's at, I don't know what it's at now. It's also rocking. Yeah, let's see if we can bring ETH up also. And then we expected the altcoins to start going literally right after that. But Bitcoin kept waffling until yesterday. And what was the trigger that started it? I don't know. Maybe we can go to news.bitcoin.com. Oh, well, here we go. Bitcoin ETFs break all-time daily volume record. 9 recently, this is according to bitcoin.com. 9 recently launched Spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETFs broke their all-time daily volume record on Monday as the price of Bitcoin soared. It's official, the new 9 Bitcoin ETFs have broken the all-time volume today with 2.4 billion. 2.4 billion. Think how small of a number that is in the great investment scheme. Anyway, Bloomberg ETF analyst noting that BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust went wild, breaking its record by about 30%. Spot Bitcoin ETFs breaking interest in Spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds surged on Monday, generating a record $2.4 billion in trading volume. BlackRock's iShares drove a significant portion of the activity, accounting for $1.3 billion. So here's the graph of this graph shows the shares of the 9 different ones, and you can see this yellow one has the biggest one. That's the BlackRock iBit shares. Let's see if I can see this thing appropriately here. This yellow thing here is the BlackRock share of the ETF game, and these are inflows on each day. I don't know. This is just a picture. It's not a chart I can manipulate. So that volume coming in is just, well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's bringing all the other markets with them. Let's hit the not that one. All right, what else is it hitting that we care about? BNB in our show this is our show portfolio here. Let me make sure we're looking at this properly. Our show portfolio. Let's see if I can do this. The show portfolio, the screen is such that I can just barely see it at my depth of vision here. On my studio software, but if I put it full screen, I don't see me, so I don't see what I'm pointing at. I like to point at things. Anyway, BNB rocking here now at almost $400. I think it briefly hit 400. We had invested $5,000 in that, so now we're up. We're up 23% in BNB. So that's good. So Bitcoin, the inflow of that, as we know, sometimes BNB tracks Bitcoin, sometimes it doesn't. With the shenanigans at Binance kind of out for now, and they're back on track here, and the CEO is concentrated on value. BNB is once again tracking Bitcoin, which is good since it's going up. We own Jasmy here, and we took profits in Jasmy. And we still hold $2,500, and we're still up $2,500. So we're only at 458% in Jasmy. That's good. We did a whole show about Jasmy last week. I would say, oh, it's up here and this kind of stuff, but that never works. Mainnet Z. Let's see. I can't see. That's behind my head. Mainnet Z here. Well, now we're up on that. The price of Mainnet Z is recovering nicely. We're up $346. We invested $1,000 in it, so we're up 34%. That's good. Dimension's backed off a little bit. We were up a little higher than that. We bet. I'll just use the word bet. Bet $1,000 in it. They're not tracking Bitcoin as well. But let's see, my average buy price on that was $5.06, and it's at 620. That's good. So we're up 114 bucks. And the guys at Operation Phoenix, our average buy price was at 7.5 cents, so we're down 100 bucks on that. In Bitcoin, we unfortunately sold it at where did we sell it? We bought $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, and we bought it at 42 and sold it at 46. So we made a little over, almost 600 bucks on that, and we should have stayed in it. The only reason we didn't buy more of it when it went, we were going to sell it, wait for it to go back down to the 30s, which we did, and we forgot to buy it again. We could just say, oh, we bought 20 grand worth of it, but it wouldn't be fair. The show portfolio is the show portfolio. Anyway, ladies and germs, let's try and get the chat going here. We'll come back and talk about Bitcoin in a minute. Let me get. I just realized that I did not spread the gospel amongst the YouTube crowd or the Telegram crowd here about the show being on. So let's take a moment to do that right now. Let's see. Where should I spread this? All this great news. What time is it anyway? We'll just say 12:45. Oh, the Space Lounge. Not doing much in the Space Lounge lately. But Carmen and I keep it going just for that, you know. Never know when you might need an extra TG room. Might get a couple viewers from putting this out there. Guys at Boddington's Lounge. Good group of guys. Global Devs, it's turned mostly into a spam fest. Let's see, and then let's see where that gets us. Alright, I think I've posted it in a number of places that should get a couple of more viewers. Couple of more. Remember, we're watching on YouTube and LinkedIn and all that type of stuff, but DYOR Media, Striking's Crypto Smackdown Telegram room is open for anyone that wants to join me on voice chat. Pedro is out today, so El No Pedro. Slow day here. Tough on YouTube. Tough. You guys are killing me. Killing me, ladies and gentlemen. Killing me. Killing me softly. Probably get a copyright for that. Let's see. Let's get over to... So, going over our show portfolio here, we still have $31,000 in the kitty. We started with 25, so we're up pretty well. You know, the market's been booming. You know, if this was a traditional finance account, and you started the year with your broker at 25,000 and you finished it at 31, they'd be like, "Woo! We rocked it last year." The investment broker's getting his fat commissions. You're like, woo, you're calculating that I don't know, it would be a 10, 11, 12%, 13% rise, you know, over the next, 30 years, and you're like, this is going to be $2 million in 30 years. And here we're like, we did all right. We're up $5,000 in I don't know, when did we start this the show portfolio? Anyone remember out there? I don't know if my comments system is not working or if there's nobody commenting. It says chat disconnected. let's go back to the chat here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the chat comment system has not been good to me today. I have missed all of your wonderful things this morning. I got notice back here, it says chat is disconnected. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, it's because it disconnected, I cannot feature them on the screen. So anyone that chatted before, let me have it. Let's have another one. Now see, that's the fun part of this whole thing, talking with y'all. Anyway, Space Cat, thanks for joining in today. We'll give you the space. Final Frontier. Chuck Jansen, I already gave you. So Doc, what's going up? Andy Wilson, welcome for joining the show. I need a good sound effect for Andy Wilson getting in there. Ka-ching's in the house. Ka-ching. Let's make sure that works. Anyway, Space Cat, thanks for joining in today. Hold on, I'm just checking the stream. Yeah, it works good. Ka-ching, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a loyal viewer, and thanks for those occasional super chats. More than once in your lifetime is more. Just makes me happier and pig in the old shit pile. But anyway, alt notify. Let's get this one right on the air. Hello, buddy Ryan from 15 Lot here. Just chilling here, watching. Hope you're good. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for subscribing. Stick around. We're having some fun. Usually I've got my co-host on here, Pedro Garcia, doing the charts and all that. But he's not on today. He's off today. He'll be on with us tomorrow. So we're going to hit all the charts as usual. Today it's just me entertaining you guys. It's not going well so far. Anyway. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that. Let's try and bring back those comment sections. Chuck says, it was fun watching BTC last night, this morning. That's for sure. Last night I was like, whoa. I was like, what are we going to talk about on the show tomorrow? Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Crypto Mike. Crypto Mike in the house. Thank you, Crypto Mike. Crypto Mike, my world is connecting with your world here soon. I don't know if you were on a few minutes ago when I talked about, let's go back through the notes here. On Monday or Tuesday, I don't know which day it is, Mrs. Striking has an event with your premier, Wab Canoe. He's coming to Toronto in order to give a speech to the Economic Club of Canada. And I'm going to be there. So a couple of weeks ago, I met Danielle Smith from Alberta. Mrs. Striking had her an event. Had the premier from Alberta. And then next week is the premier, Wab Canoe, first Indigenous leader elected of a province. Crazy stuff. Mike, I'll put in a good word for you. I'll say, hey, yo, premier, what's happening? What's happening? Got to talk to my man, Crypto Mike here. He wants to talk to you about funding for vets. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Mike says cool. Let's see. Chuck also said before, when BTC starts trading sideways, we'll probably see some influx into the alts. Yeah, that is for sure. Andy Wilson says, hi, Striking. How is the NetZ going, up or down, and what do you expect from NetZ? Thanks, buddy. I'll tell you what I expect from NetZ. I don't know if it's what they expect me to say. I expect their price go moon. What do we all... Come on. Let's all be honest. What do we expect from any project we invest in? Moon! You know, what do we believe will happen? Not moon. What do we believe will happen? You know, some waffling going on, and you make a few bucks, and you'll get to sell it when you need the money. But frankly, NetZ is early. We've had the community on here a lot to talk about stuff. I dare you say, hey, Crypto Mike from Austin. So, all right, I will do that if I get to speak with Mr. Canoe. Mike said, moons and Lambos. Yes, we all expect moons and Lambos. That's what we expect. We expect to put in this $200 and have it 1,000x, and we put all that money in our pocket, and we go get Lambo, and we go buy a ride on SpaceX and go to the moon. That's what we expect. But what really happens? What really happens is projects waffle for a long time because all of this is much harder than anyone that can. Even if you have the most experienced dev, you've got a guy that's put on a million projects. Every time they do a new one, it's always harder because all of this is new. And everyone's developing new projects or new utilities or new ways of doing things. So it's new. It's not just like you're saying, all right, you used to work at one toilet paper company and you're starting your own doing the exact same thing. That's like, all right, we'll just make another one. We hope to make it 1 cent cheaper to get some volume. This is different. You're making a new project, always takes longer. And so when things take longer, things waffle. And as we all know from the crypto world here, waffling is not good because our expectations in the crypto world is moon tomorrow, right? Literally every day we look at our investments and go, oh, for Christ's sakes, why didn't it go up? Or, it's just waffled again. It literally, Ford stock has waffled for 30 years. And people are like, well, it's all right. It's throwing a good dividend, But the waffling there goes on for... Here we got 1 day. And Mainnet Z is developing a whole blockchain, and they want to develop an ecosystem. Very hard. I just did a show in StarkNet the other day in which they launched an ecosystem with hundreds of partners on day one. That was some big money behind it. Mainnet Z does not have the StarkNet money, but they have developers and investors, and they're working on it. The question is, when moon? Not when moon. What really is going to drive Mainnet Z and when you'll see the price start moving is when other projects come and launch on their system, because that generates volume for their blockchain. And when you have volume for your blockchain, that's when the gas fees get paid. That's when the validators get paid. When validators get paid, they usually invest most of that money back into the project because it's still early. They get the word out about people because the validators want to make more money too. And the validators for Mainnet Z cost a lot of money. They're using those validators to a lot of their development money. I was on Zach Humphrey's Twitter Spaces on Friday, and we were talking about that. And he and a partner teamed up to buy a node on that, and they were very lucky to get it because there's only 30 of them on NetZ. And let's try and bring that chart up here. Where is it? Here it is. And they were very lucky to get in on that and be part of that. And those validators are set up to be, their blockchain runs fast. And I don't know a lot about it, but their blockchain runs fast. When blocks run fast, it limits what the bots can do because your bot has to be really fast. And there's only so much, time is I used to work in a small amounts of time in a previous industry when dealing with explosions and bullets and stuff. And when you compress time and have to work in very small amounts of time, bad things happen fast. Computers can work really fast, do calculations fast, but they have lots of bottlenecks, especially when connected to the internet. And so they're going to have a very fast blockchain with very cheap gas fees. And that's a good thing. It's good. The internet needs more faster and cheaper. In any category you can think of, pick faster and cheaper. Oh, well. Hold on 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Jansen with the super chat. We're just going to give it the holla. That would... I have a wood floor and very grippy shoes. Trying to do the moonwalk just doesn't work. Thank you, Chuck Jansen. Chuck is a frequent contributor to this show. Thank you once again. I'll put that back up just to say thank you very much for the super chat. Yes, that's right. It's Super Chat Tuesday. Did I name it that? No, Chuck did because he keeps super chatting on Tuesday. Chuck, thank you very much. As Pedro and I grow this show, we are going to be using all of the super chat money to promote it better and to invest in equipment. I'm getting close. I'm finally getting somewhere with Unreal, even on this crappy little computer I have here. And the studio is starting to take shape. Working with the guys there, it's really going to look nice here fairly soon. So looking forward to that for sure. And that's what these super chats are going to go to. Chuck Jansen, thank you very much. Thank you, Doctor.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Space Cat says, I was on a great AMA with Max Chain today. You know, we forgot about Max Chain. Great potential there. Twice I've reached out to the Max Chain guys saying, hey, would you like to be on the show? And never got anywhere with them. Andy Wilson says, thanks, Striking. All good info as usual. Now, well, we can talk a little bit about a little bit more about Etsy. If you're a viewer and haven't watched it, we have a regular viewer in here, Pitmonk, who's a moderator in one of their forums. Etsy doesn't pay me anything to do this. Pitmonk just brought them to their attention. I threw $200 in. Right about, I think we're up the show portfolio is different. We're up $100 in that. I think my $200 is now worth $170 or something like that. Did it at a different time. But full disclosure, nobody's paid me to say this or review them or anything like that. We will be doing sponsored spots in the future, and those will be clearly identified by different graphics and that type of stuff. But when I'm talking about stuff, just know that I may be invested in things, and I'm not pushing them on you. Not financial advice, as Pedro would say. Space Cat says, I'll talk to Max Chain for you. Drano, what's happening? Drano, I still got you here.
LeBron James.
I gotta do that one twice.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, the basketball player. Drano is the sound of his name. Whoosh. Not your investment money going down the drain. That would be a different sound. Different sound altogether. But thanks, Drano, for watching the show and tuning in. Really appreciate it. We're just talking about Netsy and what has to go on. And to review, we were just talking about, there's clearly a market maker going on. Here are a lot of arbitrage bots keeping the price well. And so the price, if you zoom out on the chart, you see lots of action, then nothing. Lots of action, then nothing. Lots of action, then nothing. It's kind of clear when the exchanges are trading it. But really, to get price action in this is when projects start dropping on Netsy. A great example is Solana. Solana was at $20 and it mooned to $70. And what started it? It was not anything great. Like, oh my God, the God anointed Solana and what's his name, the owner of Solana, to be the anointed new 10xer in the altcoin world. What they did was they had this great meme coin go nuts. What was it? Bonk? Is that what it was? Anyway, meme coin go crazy. People go nuts on Solana. Am I confusing chains? No, that's right. And then as soon as Bonk mooned, the spammers and scammers said, but let's go there. Let's go to Solana. And they all started Solana projects. And within like 2 weeks or so, I don't remember the exact time, there were 70,000 new projects on Solana. Each one of those projects required liquidity. Obviously, many of them came and went in those very short amount of time. But every one of those projects leaves a few quid, few dollars, few whatever behind in their LP. In order to launch a project, you've got to fund it. You got to fund the LP. You got to pay some monies. Yada yada yada. And 70,000. Then I think the number went up. I think the last thing I read was 150,000 new projects on Solana. All of those drove fees in it and just boosted the price. That was the primary reason for it. And then the FOMO started, and then it really got going and went up like that. And that drove, and now all the Solana validators, or whatever they call it, the proof of history, proof of staking, whatever, made a ton of money, and everything was great. That's how Max Chain can do it. They got to get those projects to come in. They need a bonk. They need a meme coin to launch on it to get people to bridge money over into it. As soon as people bridge money over it, it'll go nuts. They've got their decks open. You can trade them on 5 or 6 exchanges. They were on exchanges long before they were on DeFi, which I thought was a great strategy. And then they're on. Then they launched their decks and their launched their blockchain in December. Then launched their decks last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. Detrano says Max Chain should come to Netsy. It's a 2-layer ones just merge. Well, we saw Japanese 2-layer ones in Japan merge recently. Anyway, that's what I expect out of NetZ. And so, they're not while I look at them every day, because I look at everything every day, the expectation is that on news of new projects launching, the good news will happen. And good price action. One of the other ones we were talking about here recently. I got my system all jacked up here. Where's my screen here? In the portfolio. Yeah, I didn't buy Ondo in the show portfolio. I should have. Let's see, it's BTC. Oh, here's Ondo. Ondo's at 43 cents. It launched recently at let's see, we need to get 4-hour chart here. Launched recently here at 1 cent and mooned on that day to 2. This is a great launch. This is a great launch. And this is Ondo's a brand new DAO. I don't know if the DAO is brand new, but their token is brand new. Lots of good things to come from them. I'm not going to talk about what they do that much. I'm just going to talk about how it launched. Great launch here. I'm going to point to the right spot here. There. Great launch here. Didn't moon like 5x, 10x, and have a whole bunch of people get wrecked by buying the 10x part before people dumped. It just launched, and there was some interest in it. The tokens that are part of the DAO are locked up, so no insider selling. And then lots of buying. A little bit of selling from the people initially bought. And then as the word got out about them, just started slowly going up. And so since launch, they 4x'd. I got into that around, 3 cents. It's at 4 cents. Or 30 cents. It's at 43 cents now. Good thing. What's the market cap for Max Chain? I wouldn't be able to tell you that. Space Cat, post a link. You know what? It might not. I think I have. I think I have that turned off. That feature that you can't post a link. Or post directions on how to find them. We'll go find them and bring them up. I do not have TradingView like Pedro has since he uses it. I don't want to pay for it. And on the super sale and Black Friday super sale, when you could get the full boat TradingView, which is thousands of dollars, you could get it for like 8 cents. I didn't see it in time. I was like, oh. All right, let's. I like Ondo. A couple of people have asked me about it behind the scenes. Once again, I did invest in it. A few $100. I'm not getting paid by them. It's not this kind of stuff. Don't buy it. You'll lose all your money. Yada, yada, yada. Once again, for those of you on LinkedIn, I see there's a couple of you watching. The comment section isn't working well on that. If you want to drop a comment over in YouTube. Or Twitch or Kick. Those work fine. And of course, a reminder: if anyone's interested in coming on air to ask questions, talk smack about something, pitch their project, whatever, we've got the DYOR Media Striking Crypto Smackdown TG room open. And the video for this is in the VC there, and you'll be able to. I'll be able to bring you up on the air just like in Twitter Spaces. It used to be very popular, but then Twitter Spaces ruined the TG voice chat. But for this type of show, I like just being able to tell the viewers if they want to ask a question. I don't want all the randos from Twitter Spaces that you get. Let's see. Let's hit the stats so far. Well, it's 24 of you have joined into the show today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The doctor was a contributor. Thank you, Doc. That type of stuff. That always helps. And Twitch and Kick, about 3 viewers each at any one point. Then on LinkedIn, we've had about 10 over time. LinkedIn befuddles me. Some days you get there and you look at the algorithm pumped you to 200 people and you're like, wow. And then other days it's just 2 people. Just the LinkedIn algorithm is just difficult. Anyway, let's. I was talking about trying to find max chain. I guess we have to go over to. Oh, here's the stag chart. Come on, speaking of stag, come on, guys, gotta pump this thing. Pump it. Oh, it also said that it was stale info. All right, well, let's go to look for max. Max, there's lots of maxes, but it's its own chain. Someone tell me how to find max chain on Dex Tools. This could be it, max. Space Cat, you out there? Let me go pump it, sir. Chuck will be heading over to Stag to pump the chart. Do it on air. Maybe we'll go back to that in a minute. But I don't know if I have the right max chain. Let's see. Let's see if we can get CN Coin Gecko. Max Finance. That's probably not it. Max Finance. Let's go to. Not track for institutional certificate of deposit, but on the blockchain. It's wrapped power. All right. WPWR. But now there's a Max Finance, which seems to be doing well. I'm gonna have to look into them. It's a 30-minute chart for this other group called Max. While I have them up, let's just every once in a while you accidentally discover a little gem. Let's find out what these guys are up to. It's a 1-hour chart, do the 12-hour chart. Oh, looks like every other internet project out there. All right, well, they're coming back. Anyway, let's go. Let's find max chain here. Man, why do I forget how to use this? WPWR power. Got them on ETH. Got them on BNB. Uh-oh, stag party. Oh no. We got the stag party showing up here. Alfie's back. Anyway, Space Cat, let me know which one is the right max chain one to look at, ETH or BNB. I don't want to talk about the wrong one. Okay, well, one of them only has 1 cent or 9 cents in liquidity, so it's going to be, I'm guessing, the ETH one. Oops. All right, stagites, stalactites, whatever. We're looking at Space Cat. Let me know if I'm in the right place here. I've got the wrapped power with a $58,000 market cap, but a $43,000 liquidity. That's 80% there. So this price is not going to move much as people invest in it, which is also fine. Drainer, you may be behind a little bit. Make sure you hit that live button. Only 615K market cap. Something wrong with? I guess that was talking about NetZ. Well, let's go back and look at NetZ real quick. Let's jump around here. Jason, yeah. Chuck, thanks, Chuck. Space Cat, hold on, we're talking about max chain here real quick. We'll jump over to... we'll satisfy the viewers here in a minute. Space Cat says they're on both BSC and ETH along with their own chain and native. Native token is Nexus. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Nexus Pro, Nexus. There's too many Nexuses to try and figure that one out. Off to Phoenix land. Oh, on CMC. Oh, yeah, why don't I go to CMC? Dumbass. There's Max Chain. Power has rebranded to Max Chain. I thought it was the other way around. Anyway, here are they on CoinStore, WX Network, Swoop Finance. The ad over here, free Chipotle. That's not an ad, it's a post. I wonder if they have guacamole. It's not unrelated to the project for Max Chain I'm looking at here. Anyway, market cap 614,000. That's pretty good. Still young there. Price is at 0.02 of a cent. 0.02 of a cent. Sorry, 0.02. And yeah, let's go to the website here. Max Chain. There it is. Now we got it. Freight factoring. I had those freight factoring guys call me all the time when I owned a couple of semi-trucks. Drove me nuts. Oh, yeah, you're owed $100,000? Well, we'll give you $50,000 for that. All right, well, this is interesting. I'm going to spend some time figuring this out because that's an actual utility. Getting the logistics industry to have faster payments is a great thing. Fortunately for me, most of my clients were governments, like the Canadian government or the U.S. government, and their federal governments pay like that. So, but I did have a couple of non-government contractors, clients that would take forever to pay me on that. So the factoring guys would call us. All right, back to... we'll talk about them in the future, Space Cat. Maybe try and get them on the air to talk about it. I can talk about trucking and logistics forever since I still hold my commercial driver's license in the U.S. My CDL A, Class A license. Used to own a bunch of Freightliner Coronados. I loved those trucks. They were awesome. Chris, Stag forever. Stag forever. Well, let's just bring up that Stag chart, ladies and gentlemen. But clearly, Chuck Jansen is not participating in this at all. I mean, look there's no pumping in the past 2 days at all, Chuck. No, sir. No. Sorry. What kind of doctor are you, anyway? Chris Menard, they got shoes. That's right. They're Stag shoes. That's right. I remember this conversation. So we'll have a Stag cam down here. Anyway, how's it going at Stag, ladies and gentlemen? Old sir. think we have live on the air pumping coming. Didn't solicit anything here at all. No, not at all. No, never. Hey, Matt. Pedro is out today. I'm just putting up this schedule here. Pedro is out today. That we were off the air yesterday. We were both out. Pedro has some real life stuff to do today and Thursday and Friday. But we'll have him on the air tomorrow. We'll have Pedro back tomorrow to talk charts and all that. And for a year and a half, I did this show by myself and could talk endlessly. And then I started having Pedro on and a little bit more. First we did recorded segments, and I would try and produce the show and blah, blah, blah. And then I just started having him come on and do charts, and it was much better. And then he just became my regular co-host. And then when he's not here, I count on him to be here. First of all, for all his great content and talking about projects. But also in the middle of that, I get other things done. I go recruit people to come on the show. I go refill my tea, go use the facilities, that type of stuff. The show must go on. But he won't be with us this week. We get busy a lot, and we're not always on the air. But this week we'll be on Tuesday. Well, that's obviously today. Wednesday, tomorrow at 12:15, Pedro and I will be on here. And then Thursday, Pedro will be off too, but I'm going to have Zach Humphreys, fellow streamer, on talking crypto, his XT Algo project that he has built from scratch and that type of stuff. And to talk about this summer's huge ETH trade show in Toronto. And, of course, whatever anyone else wants to talk about. Chuck says, almost bought the wrong thing. And for you, Stag, Operation Phoenix guys, if anyone wants to talk on the air, come find the DYOR Media Striking Crypto Smackdown TG room. I'm pointing here because on one of my monitors it's here. And if you can join that room and pass the CAPTCHA, I'll bring you up on the air just like you do in Twitter Spaces. Talk about moons, whatever you want. Jason says NFTs are coming the 1st of March. Are the NFTs going to be like just, linked to your contract that if people stop trading your contract, the NFTs die? Or are they going to be more accessible or something like that? Are they going to be something new and ingenious, or are they just going to be pictures of shoes? Although I got a good one for you. I follow the Twitter account F around and find out, and it shows all sorts of videos of people effing around and then finding out. Mostly skateboarders getting their balls crushed because they did something stupid. But a lot of other things, and one of them was a giant stag coming out of the bush and just plowing over a hunter. Hunter's there with his gun like this, and he hears something, and it's only like 3 frames of the camera, and that thing comes, boom! All of a sudden, you just see the guy must have had a body cam or something. He's just laying on the ground. Stag cam failed. Chuck says, may need to go mine more fiat. BNB bag getting low. Yeah, BNB bag's getting expensive, too. Space Cat says, sorry, I had to leave for a few minutes. Oh, his son called you. That just happened to me a little bit ago, but I ignored him. Let's see. Save the date for the super dope NFTs. Let's get a super dope NFT. We'll do that. Stags and everyday life situations from the Stag universe. Jason says, I'm working. Mine that fiat, as Chuck says. Mine it. Mine it, and make sure you can bring it into your project. Pump your own token. That's how you get rich, ladies and gentlemen. You take your own money and invest it in your own thing. Pump your own token. That's what... What's the dude's SPF's name? Sam Bankman-Fried. That's what he did. Pumped his own token, made billions. Made billions. Now he can't use that money in jail. But he did make billions. Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam. Anyway, Stag chart up here, ladies and gentlemen. PYOT. That acronym is beyond me. Pretty young. I'm not going anywhere else there with that one. Duh. I'm just talking about that. Pump your own token. The SBF factor. When I'm running the show by myself here, I consume a lot of brain power doing that. And I don't get to think. I don't get to think about all the obvious things here. Oh, thank you, Chris. Yes. Tom is the loser today. Let's see that BTC chart. Let's bring it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where BTC is going. We were talking about this earlier. Let's talk where we think it's going to go. This is the L Bank. Well, it's not a great one. Let's go to Maxi. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Let's go to the daily chart here. All right, ladies and germs, here's the daily chart. Now let's talk about this. Now let's go to the Pedro view. Move myself over here. Pedro's not here, so I can make myself bigger and more prominent. Oh, look down below. The DeFi Dojo Lounge is coming up. Gonna start having some sponsored content by DeFi Dojo Lounge here, bringing some of the projects they do their AMAs with. Talk to if you're a project and want to have a good AMA spread about their kind of group of TG rooms, and also have it be on our channel. Talk to JB at DeFi Dojo. Anyway, Bitcoin right now trading at 50-some thousand. 50. I can't ever keep this straight. 57,000, basically 57,000 here. Now let's go to whiteboard mode. Whiteboard mode. But I gotta move myself. All right. So here is 57,000 here. Here's 55. Here's 51, 52,000 here. 5, 2. I'm using the right-handed mouse, but I'm a lefty. 55. I can write with both hands, but it takes a little practice. 57. This is 18. 18. And this is the summer of waffle here. If you remember, the summer just waffled. Actually, not so much there, but here. And then we started in October. If BTC pumped, and the altcoins started going here too. And that's when we really start talking about. That's when, like, as I say, I don't know about your family, but the Striking family is at its brokest because we're preparing for Christmas, socking away money. Just came off blowing all your money in the summer. Now you got to get ready for Christmas, and there's nothing left in the till until you, as Chuck says, mine some more fiat. So the market started pumping. Didn't have anything to put in it. Pedro and I were talking all about it. We're like, "Where's this going? Where's this going?" And it came up into the 30s here. Isn't this... see, when Pedro's not here, this is the quality charting you get. And it waffled in the low 40s and stuff. This chart's getting too much. Here. Now it's just looking like a sex toy. But anyway, in this area is where we were calling it, well, we're starting to see the beginnings of the pump. The ETF stuff started cranking. Right right here. That's where an ETF started coming in January. And this is a daily chart. And then the investment in the just started going up here. And where's it going to go from here, and what's it going to do? My guess from looking at the fundamentals of Bitcoin and the cycles, where we are with everything, is that we're going to go up into the 60s, which would be up in here somewhere. 60,000, 62, 63, 64, 65, I don't know where in there. And we're going to do the old go up, come down, and could come down as low as into the 40s again. Depends on the ETF volume. And then it's going to go moon. Moon. Draw the moon there. The old Swiss cheese stuff. And then it'll moon after that. This is my guess. Note on my guess, not telling you to buy anything. Obviously, I have no influence over Bitcoin, and nobody at Bitcoin paid me because there is no actual Bitcoin. Even though I'm sporting their shirt. Yeah, Chuck says, screenshot this for memories. Yeah, the Swiss moon. I know, it looks like Swiss cheese, not an actual moon. Space Cat, thanks for coming online. I really appreciate it. As always, why don't you talk to those Max guys, see if you can get them to come
Final
on.
frontier.
Talk power token all you want. But anyway, this is where we're thinking of going. Pedro and I have been talking about this for a while now, that there was no... Pedro was looking at the chart and he said, I don't see any resistance until in the mid-60s or so. And a couple other influencers and stuff like that are saying that too. Charting guys. I shouldn't say influencers. I say charting guys that have a channel. I'm neither. But as everyone says, the typical thing is it goes up and then people take profits. That's what happens. They lock in profits for certain types of the year. It's only February. It's turning on March. A lot of companies, not necessarily in the U.S., but in other parts of the world, their fiscal year and or tax year may end on July 1st. Now, you got to think about that because in the U.S., a lot of financial transactions happen to take advantage of tax losses in December because our tax year ends there. For 99, I think the number is like 99% of people and companies, their tax year. Well, for everyone, people, it ends for sure. But for companies, most of them are on a calendar year. In Canada, not so much. In Canada, a lot of companies are in mid-year tax cycles. Why? I have absolutely no idea. I don't have any idea why they don't just follow a calendar year. No one's been able to educate them. You're like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so a lot of tax stuff is done in June in a number of countries around the world to take advantage of losses elsewhere on that type of stuff. And while crypto in the U.S. is a big thing, a big part of the market, a big part of the market is not in the U.S. And a lot of people and a lot of companies, financial companies, are on that July 1st to January 30th fiscal year. So you'll see some profit taking and or selling also at this point as we get further into the year here. And that's just that. I mean, every chart you look at, it goes up and then it comes down. Not you can go all the way back to the all-time high in Bitcoin over here, and what happened? The chart come down. Chart go up, chart come down. That's what happens. So that's what we're expecting with BTC. I know this isn't the super technical thing that my friend Crypto Lifer would be shaking his head. Oh, Tom, what are you trying to do? Pedro is probably sitting there watching, not able to type right now, going, "Oh, that chart is miserable." But that's doesn't. We don't need to go into the technical analysis of it. That's our estimated thing. So if you're investing in this or in a project that closely tracks Bitcoin, which BNB is doing right now, and some other ones. Just know that this pattern is likely to repeat itself, because that's what crypt money does, is it repeats itself. Hard lessons learned, and lessons not learned so well, too. God, Chuck, when you wrote Swiss Moon on there for a billionth of a second, I thought you said Safe Moon. And I was like, whoa, no. I got to tell you, though, I've been obviously paying attention to the Operation Phoenix guys a lot. I hold their token in our show portfolio. And also personally bought into it because Chuck and a lot of my other friends said, man, you got to get into this. So I did. Just a little bit, not much to make a difference, though. But interesting project for sure. And, what it is that let me bring their chart up here. They have two charts, actually, because they have two pairs. They're on PancakeSwap, and they're on their own DEX. They hold liquidity on their own DEX. How about that? This is Pool Unknown Exchange here. That's because the DEX Tools and crew hasn't started up tracking officially yet. Chuck, bad influencer of the year. Oh, that's right. Operation Phoenix listed on 2-Bit Exchange today. I have never even heard of 2-Bit. 2-Bit Exchange. I gotta tell you, running an exchange you must be able to get it on GitHub now and just fork someone's exchange. How can they all look exactly the same? Anyway, let's find OPHX. There it is. There's their pair. Yeah, someone made some money in that today. Their first trade was at 2 cents. And that sucks. Kind of ruins their charting here. Well, their chart isn't exactly working right here. Anyway, 2-Bit Exchange. I don't know where they're based. It's not giving me any grief. I'm in Canada right now, so it must I don't know if they allow Americans to trade it or not, but I'm guessing that Operation Phoenix guys, many of them are in the U.S., so that's an exchange they can get to at least. I downloaded it and been playing around some. Mr. Lawton, thank you for joining us. Had some delicious Guinness over the weekend. Delicious, delicious, delicious. The Guinness didn't used to be so delicious here because it was made under contract from Labatt's here in Canada for all of North America. They weren't shipping it across. And then we complained. A bunch of us apparently went to Ireland and said, hey, this Guinness is different and it's more delicious. So we complained. And they started importing Guinness in bottles. You can believe that. From Dublin. And so a bunch of us bought it and we're like, hey, this is good. Let's have more of this. Enough of the Canadian stuff. So they didn't do that. But the rumor is that they've changed up how the recipe in how it's made in Canada. Obviously, different water in the mountains of it's made out west in Canada. Different water out there. When you have different water, you get different beers. But they've done something to make it more closely aligned with the Dublin stuff. And that I got to tell you, I had 2 20-ounce Guinness in about 15 minutes. Matt says, I miss Labatt Blue. No, you don't. Nobody misses it. That's like saying I miss Canadian beer. It's like, or Bud Light or Miller Lite. It just doesn't travel well and you need leprechauns to make it locally. Maybe they imported some leprechauns to Canada. Although, Matt, I'm criticizing lousy beer, but I got to tell you, I bought a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon the other day here in Canada. Well, I was in line buying some bourbon, and it was on sale. So I'm like, a little PBR won't hurt. It was delicious. It was. I was like, this is not the cheap Pabst Blue Ribbon that I had all those years ago. It's quite good. I had some Budweisers in my fridge, and I drank all the Pabst before I drank the Budweisers. And I'm traditionally a Budweiser person. If you hold up the Budweiser can, I can recite the label. This is the famous Budweiser beer. I can do the whole thing. Once again, the quality of entertainment you get here. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, I ramble on here incessantly, was where Bitcoin is going and what it's doing. And the point was to talk about this chart here and where it's going from here. Because it's going to go to the moon. I mean, the best guess from my part, it's going to go up into the 60s. It's going to come back down into the low 50s, high 40s. And then it's going to start its march to 100. And then it'll be at 100 by the end of the year. But now, obviously, all of us sit up here and we talk about, well, that's great. That's so awesome. But do you make X's in Bitcoin? No. I mean, like if you start with 50K and you buy it at 50K and it goes to 100K, now you have 100K, right? So that's good. You made an X. But what we look for is the like the space-time effect. When that black hole spins, it spins the space and time around it as well. And BTC is the black hole of crypto. And when it moves, everything else does too. And so what we're really hoping for is that this really truly launches off the alt season. Remember, the alt season's a four-step process. Starts with Bitcoin pumping. We got that. And then after that, ETH pumps. ETH is starting to pump. Let's go back to ETH here. That was stupid, Tom. ETH. Well, ETH's at 32.70 now or something like that. ETH is pumping too. And after ETH pumps, what we want to see is the main crypto tokens, the top 30 or so, pump. And the money starts flowing into it. Kind of what has to happen is Bitcoin has to pump and then just kind of waffle, while then ETH pumps. And if Bitcoin reaches a plateau here and starts chilling, well, the SEC starts getting hints they're going to drop the ETF bonus for ETH. We'll see a super ETH pump of like, we'll probably see it go to 10,000. And then after that, that's when the major altcoins really pump. Not just like 1 or 2x, but that's when they all do a Solana over the past year. And then after that, everything else pumps. Because as we all know, anything that's paired with a project, with a coin as part of their LP, when that coin pumps, the LP pumps, the price pumps, yada, yada, yada. We all know that. But then there's the bull market is on, the FOMO is on, and then that's when the altcoin, that's when you can that's when everyone says that's when you can make generational wealth. That's when, if you're lucky and you can put 50 grand into the market, you could end up with 5 million. I'm not that lucky to do that. But if I can turn 5 grand into 50,000, I'll be very happy. If I can turn 5 grand into 500,000, there'll be a lot more vacations from this show, that's for sure. Or there'll be a whole new set. There'll be dancing girls in the background, Mrs. Striking with a rolling pin. Oh, I digress. Tom, your head is blocking the chart. Yes, I made myself too big today, Matt. I did. I could just. Oops. I'll just move my. No, not that one. I'll move myself over here. Let's go back. You know what? Let's take this moment to go back to Stag and see if Chuck pumped. No, Chuck, you went back to mining. You didn't pump the chart. Maybe he sold. Maybe that was him selling there because he needed some money to buy some new Stag shoes. Anyway, the volume is dropping off on Stag. You guys get out there. Get on that marketing thing. Go crash a couple of YouTubers' streams. Guess that's what you're doing now. Anyway, what was I talking about? The Bitcoin-a-thon. Right. Bitcoin pumps, then it waffles a bit. Then it follows by ETH pumping. And then that starts to level off. But it's pumped a lot. That's when the altcoins, the top altcoins start moving seriously. And then after that, then we have the full-on altcoin bull run. And that's what we want to see, ladies and gentlemen, with this Bitcoin-a-palooza here. Jason says AMA Thursday. All right. Pedro and I will cover it. Told you. BNB bag low. Let's do a Chuck buy special. Maybe we'll send super chats back to you, Chuck, to so you can load up on some Stag. While we're talking about this, let's talk about what Pedro was talking about, Operation Phoenix. Let me get this on the old. What Pedro did when he was going over the charts here, we were mooning up here, right about up here, when Pedro first said, well, it's new and all that, but it's going to come down into the threes, which was right here. And people are we're pulling in the people from Safe Moon, volume's going to go boom. Pedro's like, I'm just telling you what the chart says. He's not making anything up. He's just reading how he learned to read charts. And sure as shit, it came right back down. Came right back down, even though it was mostly whales dumping, but the chart says what it does. It dropped into the threes real quickly, rebounded nicely, came back up. Community said, all right, we're ready to rock and roll again. Started bringing it back up, hit an all-time high of over, I think 11 cents. Was it? Something like that. And then unfortunately, just some not nice people, just whales started dumping their bags. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you give people too many tokens and then pump with low liquidity, is that whales have too much influence. And this project should have... actually, its liquidity is much better now. I'm sorry, the Operation Phoenix liquidity, they've got 231,000 here, and then in their other... in their other one, they've got 171,000. 200 and what is that? 230 and so it's about 4. So it's 400,000. So a little under 10%, about 8%. That's much better. They were down at 2% for a while, 2 and 3%. So they've improved their liquidity greatly, which is great, awesome. That's a very good thing. But when it was up here, Pedro said, "Yeah, we're looking for it." Oh, I started moving that instead of. We're looking forward to it to basically coming down here before doing this. And he said, Pedro said, it could come down into the, into the fives, and it did. Right down here, it dumped into the fives because someone sold a lot. But you got to kind of rule that out. But it did start its slow progression down here, and you can see that the trend is starting to bottom out. And if I had the moving averages on, you'd see that it was starting to. I'm pointing where you can't see. They're starting to condense here and getting ready to go back up. That's what Pedro said last week. If you were to take time and go look at the ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the videotape. Name the announcer that's the famous line and win striking merch when we have striking merch. And he called out that it was going to come back down in this area. And obviously tomorrow when Pedro's on, we'll have him go over it again and redo it. But things are looking good for Operation Phoenix. They still only have under 2,000 holders. They've got like 1,500 holders. They're trying to pull in the SafeMoon people to it. I don't know. I don't know why. If anyone here is from Operation Phoenix, tell me why the vast amounts of SafeMoon people won't come over and just play in it. I understand many of them got burned. There are people that are still saying we can do stuff with SafeMoon, even though the contract is closed. The officers are in prison. Is that a good thing? Bring. Instead of getting hello SafeMoon headquarters, you get bring hello Terre Haute Internet Federal Prison. Come on, man. And you think a large part of them would come over and say, yeah, all right, let's try to redo the SafeMoon thing. I know it's a bunch of YouTube influencers that started it, not some visionary guys like John Corona, who was just a lucky TikTok guy that got started and then stole everyone's money. Why they won't come on over and just try this project out? It's clearly a good project. It's got a lot of marketing money behind it. It's got a good chart. It's got a great community. But if you go over to Reddit, it's like the SafeMoon. You go to the SafeMoon Reddit. If you even mention Operation Phoenix, it's a ban hammer. It's like, no, we can't have that. No. They're all scammers. Really? I'm a scammer? Like, seriously, guys? Come on. Anyway, if you're a person that is in that SafeMoon community, come on over to Operation Phoenix and check it out. You don't even have to buy anything. Just come check it out and see if it's legitimate or not. It is. But I want you to form that opinion by yourself. Chuck says liquidity is improving daily. They've had a few injections, and that's helped a lot. That's helped a lot, and it'll get rid of some of these bigger swings. Frankly, if they could double their liquidity, you mentioned that they had some record trading volume on Bitmart, which any new token that's got interest gets a lot of trading volume because the exchange market makes it, and people play the game here, trying to figure out the arbitrage back and forth. But they generate fees over on Bitmart. They collect reflections, and so if you are a large holder of the Bitmart stock of tokens, you can get your share of the 1.5% or something like that reflections. Whereas if you're on the DEX, you have to get rewards via staking. Truck says, have I ever been posting some rumblings on Reddit? Andy says, gotta go now. Catch you later. Thank you, Andy Wilson. Gotta come up with Andy. Maybe I'll do some Beach Boys since they're all Wilson boys. I'll do some Beach. Now I'll get copyright strikes for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Bring your friends tomorrow. We'll be back with Pedro. Anyway, look at my list here. Oh yeah, let's just hit back to the show portfolio real quickly here. We talked BNB, we talked Jasmy last week. Jasmy's still doing well. Let's just check it out real quick though. Their chart. Well, I must say, since I've been talking about Jasmy, they've pumped today. Just in the last few minutes, they've pumped 1.5%. Obviously, because of the viewers of this show. Thank you very much, viewers. You guys are the pumpettes. Let's see. That's the one. It's a daily chart, 7-day chart for Jasmy. A little growth. We bought him back here in right about here. A little bit lower than that. It dropped down. This chart isn't showing. It dropped down a little bit lower than that. Tagged Pedro stop or a limit order that we had in. We talked mainnet Z earlier. Dimension. Let's talk Dimension real quick. Dimension was pumping into a new dimension. Then it just cooled. Let's see where it is now. Let's see. Let's go to the 7-day chart here. Yeah, it dropped off from its highs in the high 7s. But over the past month, it's up pretty well. Let's see. Let's give it their all-time chart here. Let's see. They launched. I guess they launched in December or so. No, January. It looks like January 30th. Anyway, did very well there. Not we did, but Dimension's doing well. Operation Phoenix and then Bitcoin we've talked about. Oh yeah, the other ones we talked about. We had the whole AI thing. I'll let Pedro do that tomorrow. So come back if you want to learn about back to Jasmy. I told you to watch Lithium. Lithium. I don't know how to pronounce that. See what they're up to. They're a play like Caspa. They're going to introduce their own miners, and everybody expects it to start to pump it. Well, you know, the volume is coming up here, coming up a lot lately. That's the volume chart for the past year. Volume is 7 days. They're still appreciating. They're getting ready for a breakout. I bet you Lithium's going to break out here soon. And I'm probably going to put them in the show portfolio, even in the personal portfolio. Let's see there. Yeah, they went from 25 cents to they launched right around close to 20 cents. Now they're $3.80. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Then of course I did want to some of the people in the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Devi community. Deve. I don't even know how to find it. It used to come up as dev.e. No, it's 2 V's. Turn the music up a little bit, signifying we're coming to the end of the show here. Please input your keyword. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Why is that not working? Why is that not working, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go find that. Let's see. Let me look on. Let me find that. Let's see. Profile replies. I should have a link to that here somewhere. Trading on Uniswap. Here's the contract address. All right. There we go. Finally. I don't know why it didn't come up before. All right, daily chart down a little bit for them. Not showing that they do not track with BTC, which in a bull market you want it to track. In a bear, you do not want it to track. So their monthly chart. Let's see. Let's get their all-time chart. Now, they've been around since the middle of February. Not that long. Anyway, not much. I'll have Pedro look at this chart from scratch to really give it a look at. One of the ones we're tracking here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you got any other topics, let me know if you want to chat. None of you chumbalones took up my offer to come on over to Striking's Crypto Smackdown room. Thanks again, Tom. Hopefully my fiat mining meetings allow me to join the live show tomorrow. Pedro and I could have this open. Now that I got it working again, I'll open it again more. So if you can come on, you can come on. Talk smack with the rest of us. But in the meantime, go over to TG and search DYOR Media, Striking's Crypto Smackdown. Join it, pass the capture. I am no TG master, but I have put up a good capture that sometimes is too good. Sometimes it's too good and you get banned forever. So then I have to go find you and unban you. And TG is one of those things, if you don't deal with it every day, you forget how to do those things quickly. And then they changed them. They updated Telegram, and then they moved the management thing, and they moved the permission. And you're like, whoa. Or it's different, completely different on your phone than on the desktop. And I like using the desktop more than the phone, one of those rare people. Because of the desktop, I have, 3 or 4 monitors, and everything's awesome. And on your phone, you got this little device. And my daughter's converting over to iPhone. Her friends are actually teaming up to buy her an iPhone. As a dad, I would never buy a kid an iPhone. And any dads out there, buy your kids iPhones. Give a kid a $2,000 device. It's just lunacy. I buy cheap Android phones on Amazon, like 2 for 1. Black Friday guy got two OnePlus or Android phones for $230, and they're perfect for kids. And one of my kids, 21-year-old. Oh, Dad, I dropped the phone. Here's the other one. Drop an iPhone. Like, oh, we gotta take it to the Genius Bar, who are not geniuses. Anyway, my daughter's friends are chipping in to buy her an iPhone. Look at that. We got Jason in the house. Came over and joined the VC. Probably can't talk because he's mining fiat right now, but join the Crypto Smackdown, so we'll see you tomorrow, Jason. I'm not sure I'm monitoring the comments in it. Let's do welcome, Jason. Not a lot of talk goes on in my room, mostly just posting about shows and stuff. But I do monitor every day, and anyone that posts something, I always respond immediately. Anyway, if you could drop me a comment saying how the sound is. You're the first person to tune in today over there. How the sound is. Is the music too loud there? Because it's a separate feed and all that. Because I try to make my life complicated here. But we've had a good show today, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a very good show today. I was able to pull it off here. Thank you, Chuck, for your super chat, and for also for grabbing people from various communities to come on over. Why is that not working? Oh, it is working. As you can see from the show schedule, tomorrow, 12:15 p.m. Beyond with Pedro. Thursday, 12:15 p.m. we'll be on with Zach Humphreys. Friday, unknown at this point. But for everyone that have been watching on YouTube,